Hello again everyone, welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Dragon Warrior 3 for the Game Boy Color. This is Vortex259, your host, and today we're going to explore the castle town of Romaly. The last time we met, we talked to the King of Romaly here, and he informed us that a bandit by the name of Kandar has taken off with his golden crown. So he's tasked us with going in search of the rogue and retrieving the golden crown for him, and if we can do so, he's going to recognize us as a true hero. But before we go off in search of Kandar, we want to spend a little time exploring the castle and the town here. We're going to be able to find quite a few items, and we'll also obtain some useful information as well. So I guess we can get started by talking to the King's Chancellor here, and he just begs us to lend an ear to His Majesty's request, which we've already done. We know what we're supposed to do. I guess this is the King's Queen here. She's heard that Aliahan is a beautiful place. The hearts of the people must also be beautiful. And it looks like the King's Chamber is guarded by one lonely soldier here. I guess the security is pretty lax in Romaly. Ah, visiting from Aliahan. Welcome. So I guess we'll just go back downstairs into the courtyard here. Only one soldier on duty right here. And he tells us the king is waiting. Well, we just got through visiting with the king. Now, the interesting thing about the courtyard here in Romaly Castle is we're going to be able to find a hidden item. If we go down, to the southeastern corner of the courtyard and check this bush right here, we're going to find another tiny medal. How about that? I believe that's my 7th tiny medal, so 7 down and 3 to go. Once we get 10, we can get that garter. But to be honest with you, I don't think any of my characters are going to use it because, well, they're all guys, and quite frankly, that'd be kind of weird for one of them to be wearing a garter. But, oh well, we'll take it anyway and sell it off. Okay, well, let's check and see what we can find down here. Looks like there's a staircase waiting for us here. Unfortunately, that door right there is locked, so we don't have a key that will fit that door at this point in time. But we'll find one in the future, I bet. Well, let's go to the northwestern corner of the room here. Looks like there's a staircase leading up. It's like a scholar type person wandering around on the floor here, and he's heard the winds whispering. What do whispering winds sound like? Would you like to hear them? I guess so. Far to the west of Kazave, Champagne Tower casts its shadow. Okay, we'll have to keep that in mind. There's another tower we'll be visiting called Champagne Tower, and it's far to the west. So we'll continue going up the stairs here in the left tower, and it looks like the top is a prison cell. And of course the door is locked, so let's talk to the prisoner here and see what he has to say. How many times do I have to tell you that I'm not a cohort of Kandar? Oh, who are you? I thought it was another soldier to interrogate me. Anyway, Kandar makes me look like a saint. He's holed up in Champagne Tower with his goons. If you're confident in yourself, go punish him. Alright, so it looks like Kandar is waiting in Champagne Tower, holed up with his henchmen. So if we want to retrieve that golden crown, we're going to have to go to Champagne Tower, it sounds like. But we're going to have to spend some time leveling up before we can go visit Champagne Tower and take out Kandar. Alright, well, that's all we can do in this tower, so let's go to the other side of the room here. Looks like a Luigi-looking person standing right there. He says, I came from Kazave in the north. On the way, I was attacked by monsters. I ended up losing all my wares. I made it here, but my business is ruined. Oh. So it sounds like there's some pretty strong monsters between Romaly and Kazave, so we'll have to be alert for that. Alright, well, let's explore the eastern tower here, see what's waiting for us at the top here. And it looks like a little room inside with an old man. And the old man says, my son likes to play too much. That habit still persists even though he's now the king. Well, it sounds like the king has a bit of a playful, mischievous streak to him. Well, let's check the old man's bookshelf here, and we're going to find the cheat book, which will change one of my character's personalities, but I think I'm just going to hold on to that for now. And if we look inside the old man's dresser, we're going to find an item called a token, and we'll be finding out what that token is good for very soon, probably within another video or so. Alright, well let's go on back downstairs here. And let's explore the eastern side of the castle here. I believe there's one more room we can check out way down here. And there's a soldier right here. Monsters have become very numerous in these parts. Vicious monsters are in the east. You should first head to the north, so we'll have to keep that in mind. We'll want to head to the north on the overworld before we head to the east. Alright, well I guess that's all we can do here in the castle, so it's time to go check out the town now. So let's go on down back into the town. Now before we go check out the town, let's veer off to the east here. It looks like a suspicious looking fire pot there, but if we look on the east part of the pot there on the floor below, we're going to find yet another tiny metal. So that brings the total to 8. Now we only need to find 2 more before we get our next item from the Metal Master. Okay, I think we talked to this gentleman last time. He's the guy who can't whistle, who's looking for Bobby. Where's Bobby? It's time for Bobby to go home. Well, where in the world can we find Bobby? There he is. Who let the dogs out? I guess that's Bobby. Well, if we keep that in mind, where Bobby's located, it looks like he was digging around in the ground there. If we can come back at a later time and go right to where Bobby's standing there, we might be able to find an item he's buried into the ground there, so we'll keep that in mind. Alright, well, let's go inside here. I believe this may be the church. Yeah, it sure is. We'll talk to a couple of these folks here. You hail from Aliahan. I could tell right away. And this lady tells us the village of Kazave is far to the north. So yeah, the guard in the castle already told us that we'll want to go to the north before we go to the east. And if you need to have one of your characters revived, you can always talk to the priest there. Well, let's go here into the priest room and go through his drawers, see if he's stolen any collection money here or anything. But if we look into the dresser, we find an item called the Toughness Rock. That looks interesting. Well, let's go to our item menu and check out what hero can do with the Toughness Rock. It looks like that's going to increase his vitality by 10 points, so that's a really nice item to get. So I went ahead and equipped that on hero there. Well, let's check the bookshelves here. No special books in the first bookshelf. If we check the second bookshelf, we're going to find the Smart Book. That's another really good item because Matt, my mage, needs high intelligence. So what I'm going to do is use that Smart Book on Matt, and the practical advice drew out Matt's intelligence. So Matt became much smarter. And if we look at the info for Matt there, you can see he's now the sharp personality. So every time he levels up, his intelligence is going to increase better than all of his other stats. So that's why I wanted to go ahead and give that to Matt there. Alright, I believe that's all we can do in the church here. So we'll just go back out and let's go into the inn here and take a look around. Looks like there's a door locked by the thief's key, but we've got the thief's key, so we can go in here and talk to this lady. The Demon Lord is going to take over the world? Well, that's rather hard to believe. Well, I guess she's one of those people that doesn't seem to be really interested in what the Demon Lord is plotting. Well, let's look into the dresser here, and we're going to get an item called the Moon Herb, and that is an item that will be able to restore one character from the paralysis trait. So if we're ever paralyzed, we can use that. And on the second floor here, there's nobody in the room at this point, but we'll go ahead and check the drawer here, and we'll get an antidote to recover from poison out of there. Alright, moving right along. Let's see, there may be one person we can talk to down here. You're from another country, aren't you? Let me tell you something. The king here is pretty silly. Watch your step around him. So apparently he's playful and silly. That's not traits you would expect from a king. Alright, I believe there's one more house we can go check out up here. And I nearly passed it there. So let's go inside here. And it looks like an old lady looking into the mirror there. I hear things are turning mean and ugly, even here in Romaly. The king has to buck up, but Ah, speaking ill of the king, are we? Well, I won't tell on you. Well, if we look inside the dresser, we'll pick up a leather hat, which we can sell off. And let's see if there's anything good in these pots. Well, look at that. There's our next tiny metal. That's tiny metal number 9, I think. So we only need one more before we go visit the metal master again. Alright, well I guess that's about all the time I'm going to have for this episode today. It's deplorable. Public morality has plummeted, perhaps because of rumors that the Demon Lord will destroy the world. Well, this looks like a shady place, and I guess we'll pick up here next time and see what this basement room is all about. So I thank you for watching this episode of Let's Play Dragon Warrior 3 today. This has been Vortex 259. We'll see you again next time.